Bannerlord can be a brutally hard game. Often you're outnumbered and massive armies march against you. Well, in this new series, we're going to work together, friends. What I want you to do is send me your difficult situations that you're either currently encountering in Bannerlord in your campaign, or something that you've dealt with in the past where you're just unable to solve it. I will do my very best to handle these difficult situations. I will share the results on YouTube, provided they have some kind of educational value for people. We will take on these difficult challenges, do some battlefield analysis, and hopefully help you turn around a very, very difficult battle. So join me on this adventure. Please send me your difficult situations. Have a little patience. I don't know how many there are going to be, but I'm willing to take these challenges on for you fellas as we handle your disasters of war. Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, and we are dedicated to this Disasters of War series. This has been an absolute blast for me, and it continues here. This is an email sent in. We will put the email up on the screen. His name is Aaron, and he says this battle has just frustrated the shit out of him. He said he's tried a Peekaboo Ridge. He said he's tried a kill pit, probably a kill box, and we will take a look and see if we can't improve things here. Now, I don't know why you're not wearing full armor there, brother. Maybe he likes to have his picture out there. He's got a really nice weapon load. He's got a custom hammer. He's got a bunch of banners here, and he's got good armor. So maybe we'll change that for you. You know, some basic stuff. There must be a reason he's doing that. But I can only speculate. It wasn't in the email. So we're not going to sell equipment for fellas, of course. We're not going to change things too dramatically. Look at his character here. He's got Arwa. It's always nice to have her pretty badass in the lineup. This guy, that might be one of the most unique looking characters I've ever seen. Is this a vanilla Bannerlord? Who's this guy here? Let me look at this. Man, that is wild. What a great set of equipment, Aaron. Vassalops the surgeon. He is a sturgeon, maybe. I don't know. He needs a banner. Some of your guys lack some equipment. In fact, it seems like he doesn't put armor on all his units. So we shall see. Right, this is Octavius, and he is trapped here, or at least probably trapped by 1,000, almost 1,100 Valandians. And they're tough Valandians too. 65 Volunteer, 42 Sharpshooter, 90 Banner Knights, a bunch of Sergeants. So this is another fella. He didn't say it, but I would imagine we have another guy here experimenting with the Strengthen AI mod, right? This is a Juggernaut army, 66 Sharpshooters. I mean, these armies have lots of good troops. Okay, so now I think I understand it. He's using lower player damage and then not wearing the armor, probably because he wants the aesthetics of it. So let's see how we do this. We will change things on the second go round to represent normal difficulty because I don't want to play with these advantages. But this first run here, let's see what the sergeants do, right? We do this for every episode. We will observe the battle conditions here. We will observe what the sergeants do. And then we will see if we can't figure out this Rubik's Cube. I'm not sure if I should put captains in these positions. When you guys send me a save file, all the guys are in whatever divisions you assign them to. You see all these divisions. There's archers in the 5th and horse archers in the 6th. However, if you don't assign your captains, you know, you're missing major advantages here, even though a lot of your guys don't have banners. You guys got to use those banners. Those are hugely important. All right, let's see what the AI does here. We are using the Strengthen or the battle size mod, so all the units are on the battlefield, and they're heading for the ridge, right? It's not the worst strategy. The AI here trying to win for Aaron is running up here. Now, what you want is you want to get on this side of the ridge, right? Look at that beautiful Peekaboo Ridge. That could definitely be used, but alas, the AI is kind of, you know, they're not programmed by the terrain much at all, other than if they can't shoot, they'll move forward to try to shoot. Here, they're just kind of setting up on the side of the ridge, and that's not going to be very advantageous, right? They're being zerged by a huge amount of infantry and cavalry. The enemy archers and crossbow are a long ways away, but look at the quality. Every guy is a sharpshooter or fiend champ. So Aaron, you must be using the Strengthen AI mod. which if you don't know, fellas watching this for the first time, dramatically improves, depending on the settings you use, dramatically improves the strength of your opponents. No wonder he's having a hard time. On top of that, cavalry is just smashing through here. In fact, I don't know if I mentioned that, but he said the cavalry lines were totally disorienting his formations. So we'll speed through this. You guys don't need to see sort of this disorganized AI try to defend here. And we'll try to come up with a plan here. But this looks like an extraordinary challenge. I mean, he's getting blasted by cavalry. It actually doesn't look like the enemy archers and crossbow are that big of a threat. It's just so many infantry and heavy horse. He's being trucked here. I mean, you don't see a death spam like that very often. And he had good troops, right? We'll have to look closer at his army in this second. Like I said, of course, we will fight this ourselves the second run. And the AI is not even getting a 1-to-1 KDR. It's actually not even getting a 1-to-2 KDR. This force he's fighting is so savage. He's not even going to kill half as many troops as he loses here. Now, I'm not blaming you, Aaron. I'm saying the AI here. No wonder you're having a hard time with this battle. You stick the AI in charge, and they just got melted here. I mean, that looks like the opposite death spam of our normal battles on the channel. So let's load this up here. And it feels very daunting, right? 800 Melandians plus survived that first attempt here. Yikes. Let's see here. Hold on. It's this one right here. You can see I'm starting to accumulate all the save files you fellas send in. And there are some different mods here. Let's see. Mods have been removed from the game. Relentless. Banners, Relentless. Open source armory. I don't think he's using any mods that would make this easier for him. And we're not really adding any mods that'll make it harder. We're adding things that are superficial, like random bodies. We're not using the reinforcement system. If you guys are using mods like that, please tell me so I can try to replicate unique, incredibly important mods, right? If you're using a mod that, say, for example, I don't know, gives you some kind of advantage that we don't have here, let me know. Now, his army is outstanding. That's about as elite as an army as you can get. This is still perplexing to me. What I would assume Aaron is doing here is he wants to see his characters' faces, right? At least his own character, he's not putting on a helmet, even though he has a really good helmet. He's not putting on a shoulder piece, even though there's a serviceable piece right there. So he's playing with reduced player damage, but less armor. And I can understand doing that. So for this episode, for this playthrough, we're going to play with normal player damage. And where's the AI here? Combat AI difficulty, right? We want this on the hardest. We don't want the AI doing anything that's less than good. Now, they did just fine in the last battle, right? They clubbed his army here real bad. But we'll give this a shot here. We'll see if we can pull a rabbit out of the hat in this one. This looks to be one of the hardest challenges we've faced so far. He's outnumbered and outgunned. I don't understand it, though, with his army being so strong, how he is at least not putting up a fight here. But let's see what we can do. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is a peekaboo ridge. There's two problems with that other one. First, it's right next to the enemy. Second, it doesn't have this backward slope. From back here, we can put archers that'll shoot anything that comes over that ridge. And there's two advantages. They're further away, and they have clear line of sight over your infantry, over your cavalry. That's enormously important. So that's at least going to be a good tactical setup here using the terrain. If you try to set up at that front line peekaboo ridge, I don't know if we can get there before their cavalry is zerging us. In fact, that's what happened to the AI on the previous episode. Much, much better if you can have your units already stationary as the enemy approaches. Octavius here, we'll stick him in charge of the 8th Division. I don't really know what to do about the banners. This guy actually, Aaron, we're using this guy's name. He didn't say not to use his name. Has all kinds of banners that might be useful. But he's not equipping his characters with them. Make sure you have stuff like reduced melee damage on as many different units as you can get, right? Reduced ranged attack damage for your archers, etc. Now, I see the problem here. It must be one of these other armies that's with him. Aaron is with a couple 4 other armies here. I'm not going to back out and look at them, but clearly some of these other armies are not carrying their weight. They have an army full of peasants. Look at this shit. This whole infantry division, the 3rd is infantry, is ghetto infantry, and the only reason that would happen is if one of these divisions had just a whole lot of scuzz in their army. Let's see if there's a whole lot of low-level archers. There are, right? Every single guy there doesn't have a piece of metal on him. They would all pass a metal detector. That means they suck as troops, right? we're going to put these guys together. I rarely do this for battle, but these guys are going to form basically an auxiliary reserve division. Third in a circle, basically protecting these archers a little bit, right? They've got spears and pitchforks, and then the archers in there will at least add a little bit of damage. We're going to support those units too. They will not engage early in the fight. They will be used after the vanguard engages. Now, he's got decent cavalry here. We're going to use a weakened 2nd division and charge with the stronger division. Let's try a skein. A skein for that little slope there looks appropriate. And let's put this 1st division in a shield wall line towards the front. We basically want these guys holding that edge so that their infantry is stood up for our archers. See what we got here. This is the kind of banner you want, right? Increased melee damage against mounted troops. And look at the captain, right? This is one of the, I think he's a Battanian. I'm sure he's a Battanian. That's the kind of guy you want in your army against a bunch of against a bunch of cavalry, right? That guy's going to be outstanding against their cavalry charges. So reserve division, 3rd, 7th, 6th will be a skirmisher attacking division. The 2nd, I've got all these captains here and none of them have banners. So you just do the best you can. And with such a difficult battle here, I'm going to spend 60 seconds just putting some of these captains into positions that I hope they can excel at. Yeah, I won't belabor it. You want some better banners. Don't use the decreased morale shock unless you're really low-level character. Your units are not going to rout in a battle like this. About the only divisions those would be good for are those militia. They're not actually militia. They're just flat-out recruits, which is obviously... and you don't bring recruits to a strengthened AI army. Now, it's not your fault, Aaron. It's just one of these dipshit armies that you called to you has a bunch of scuzz. And it's dragging you down. So not only are you badly outnumbered, but you basically have 150 scuzz tier 1, tier 2 units. Now, this 6th division we're going to attack with. Those 2 front divisions are defensive. Slow down the enemy. There's another infantryman there wearing no clothes. Maybe I'll slow-mo that for you to see later on. I don't know if you were in a hurry, but you got to get some clothes on these guys. Maybe you like a set of abs or something. You guys are going to get killed with no armor. Now, 5th division is the best division back here. The reason I'm putting them here is because I'm hoping these guys shoot until they're fucking out of ammo. Right, 70 archers. Hopefully those guys expel their full ammo. That'll mean, of course, that they did major damage before they have to engage in melee. And that's kind of messy there, but I'll take it. That's the 3rd and the 7th there. Those 2 scrub divisions kind of supporting each other. And I think this is about as good as we're going to do, right? Look at the line of sight is good there. That 1st division holding the ridge. I'm taking a moment here, a little extra time. This 8th division is going to be led by his main character who's got great perks and a reduced taken melee attack damage banner. 15%. That's a huge perk bonus. Can spread these guys out a little bit better. They got to have good line of sight. And that 8th Corps, we're going to be both distracting, pulling in at the beginning to create basically a log jam of units around our infantry, and then charging, right? They're going to be on auto fire after the first, about 2 minutes of battle. To clarify that point, when you have a bunch of cavalry and a bunch of infantry, you want those cavalry and infantry standing next to each other on your side. That way your archers shoot the enemy and they're not moving, and those cavalrymen get in the way of the enemy cavalry. Now here's our setup. That's what they're looking at over the Peekaboo Ridge. The 3rd, or the 4th, 5th, and the 7th division all pounding them with arrows. The 6th has some skirmishers, although not as many as I'd like. And then we're just hoping these wedges toward the front slow down this enemy assault. And it's quite the assault here, right? It's a huge amount of heavy cavalry, then a huge amount of very tough infantry. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the entire infantry corps the enemy is sending here is tier 5. It looks like he's just up against it. Now, doing this just to sort of try to distract a little bit of attention. See, a few guys are coming to me. If you can sort of break up their cav lines, it'll be a little less impactful, right? I try to distract a handful of guys, and it can be valuable in a battle like this. All right, let's bring that 8th Corps up here. The archers will be shooting. He's got some cons guards. And we're watching the back of the battlefield here, right, to make sure things look good. The 6th Division gets told to charge. Hold on for your life there, infantry. Fortunately, they pulled back from our militia. Might be because of the distance they are from the rest of the troops. Charge with the 6th Division. The 8th Division is also in here, and I want these guys basically attacking and or following me, right? You can basically have them attack, and then somewhere in here, right, it's a good idea to have them follow you That way they clog this area. You see all these different cavalrymen. I just told them to follow me. Now they're going to surround me, surround the enemy, and suddenly the enemy can't move, right? All their cavalry's in here. It's a maelstrom. There's arrows being fired in here. We've got units everywhere, and it's really going to slow down their cavalry. Now we're going to have heavy blows here, right? They're now crashing into our infantry lines, but we've got a peekaboo ridge. Our archers look beautifully protected back there, right? I like to look at them with my peripheral vision. Almost nothing bothering our archers, right? Now this is your moment, Aaron. We're going to get Octavius and his custom hammer into this battle. Look at the arrows firing in there. There's no enemy arrows hitting us, right? The enemy's archers are out of line of sight because of our peekaboo ridge. The death span looks great, but a lot of work to do still, right? This is a very powerful force slamming into us here, so in we go, right? We wade in. Legionnaires on your back. And this infantry, these guys can now be told to charge, right? That militia division that we've kept back to this stage, the vanguard is engaged. The rest of our troops are up here wailing away, fighting for their lives. Let's get those militia in here as well, right? Charge. And in they come. It's not powerful, right? But it is another 70, 80, 70, 80 little sickles and swords. And look at our infantry plow from the left to the right here. Just ate their infantry alive. In fact, we just blew their infantry out. Our little peasants are now in here with their sickles, fucking making work of these guys. And let's join them here, right? Behead some guys. It's always fun taking on another guy's character. It's a little bit like, you know, driving somebody else's sports car. You got a nasty character here, Aaron. He's savage. All right, now let's reset, right? We just destroyed their cavalry and infantry. More are coming, right? We know there's going to be more. In fact, if you look up at the power bar, it's about even. Let's reset our units here, and we're using this ridge. Why? Because their archers have to come over it, right? Let them come to us. They attacked us. We're going to use this ridge. We're going to avoid arrow shots. We're going to reset our little militia division. They're carrying their little pitchforks and swords and shields over there. All of them look nervous. But they're alive, right? They're bloody, but they're alive. Let's reset quickly here before the enemy's on us. Archers 5th, 4th. Our cavalry's they ran off. Get over here, boys. Hurry up. Now we're getting shot. I can't see from where. Okay. Oh, shit. There's a bunch of enemy infantry coming in on the side here. Let's have these guys shoot. What do we got here? The 6th is ready to attack. First and 6th can be brought over here to deal with these infantrymen. It's more tough infantry. I'm getting chased. Fuckers. But I don't see any archer supporting these guys, right? And it's a carving fest. This guy's got a savage two-handed weapon. It's just like using Baron York or one of our other companions, and the death just fizzes green death span. We're scorching this enemy. This division can be sent in. We're holding that edge. His hammer's probably a little bit more effective just because you're clubbing, doing more damage to armor, and of course hitting 2 or 3 guys at one shot. Boom. But we're gonna have to get the rest of these guys up here. Let's bring that militia up again here. I don't know how the enemy's flanking us here, but they are. That's a problem. These guys are gonna be attacking our weaker militia archers and militia infantry. Fuck. Doesn't quite have the athleticism I'm used to. But the enemies are routing, right? Help! As we smash our way through them. Kill some banner knights, kill some lords here, catch this shit. Whatever, Fernhard, that's their king or whatever. The lord leading this army. How did we kill our own troops across the battlefield? Even when I play other people's characters, I get killed. Or I kill our own units. Yeah, archers are there again. Let's just hold this ridge here. We might have retreated a little bit late. Let's see how many we lose here. They have a ton of archers right up at the edge of that ridge here. So we're just falling back, again, under the protection of this ridge. You don't want to go over it until it's clear you have the momentum. Let's see. I've got the 8th Division. I've got a little bit of cavalry support, 80. I've got 56. Okay, that'll probably work. I need a horse. Let's reset here, though. If I can get on a horse, what we can do is we can drag these horse archers and cavalry around while we charge, and that should be plentifully effective. Okay, they got crossbows set up across the valley there. They've kind of got enough positioning here that it's probably best to attack. What do you think? 200 archers. Got a horse now. Okay, let's go ahead and move infantry up here. Let's get our horse archers around, right? Look at all these horse archers. Beautiful, right? Let's drag these guys around the enemy's left flank. We'll charge with everybody else. The 5th Archer Division is probably best off holding fire here, but we can just have them shoot. The enemy's kind of maintaining a stable position here, and now we sweep in, right? Left to right. Now, enemy left to enemy right. And, god damn, I just got shot for a lot of health. Even though we put on good armor, he's still taking a beating. But if we can buy time for our troops here and pound this powerful infantry or archer line, we should have this battle. It's close. Come on, boys. Now we got a bunch of Khans guards rampaging through their ranks. A bunch of weak militia charging is not good, but at least it's gonna keep the enemy occupied here. And I think we got it, Aaron. Our troops are fucking roaring. They're excited. We'll smash a few more here. Enemies routing. It looks like they're flat routing. They're not. This isn't even reforming. That's like routing behavior. Let's get horse archers here right in front of me. Get a little support and just charge in here. Right? Come get some, fiend champ. Oh shit. Yeah, we got shot in the neck. Killed your character, Aaron. Let's just charge with everybody. This is definitely an F1, F3 situation. I am disoriented. Let's see which way is up. Can't tell. Let's get a high ground here. At least we can figure out what's going on. And the enemy's running for the hills. That's what's going on here. Fuck yeah, we fucking pulled this battle out. A little bit of white left or beige left at the top there for the power bar. And beautiful, right? The enemy is fleeing. Still quite a few troops left, right? It wasn't that bloody. I mean, it was bloody, but it wasn't that brutally difficult. On the higher end of difficulty here, though. Lots and lots of tactics were necessary there. Aaron, if you see an episode like this, right, and we're helping this guy out, and you can't make heads or tails of what we just did, we will try at some point or other to do more RTS for this series, right? If that was just a blur for a lot of you guys watching, or if Aaron is watching that, trying to improve his gameplay, let us know, right? If you guys have a hard time with that, and you can even send it in the email, and you can, you guys can keep this anonymous. Now, he doesn't even need all these troops. His army's like stacked to the gills already, but we'll just take the best troops here, take some prisoners, just in case you want this save game, bud. We will try to turn these over just like a campsite out in nature, right? We'll try to turn this over nicer than what we found it, right? We basically stacked your army, get a bunch of equipment here. You can finally not have naked characters, dude. Nah, you guys can play however you want. You understand, we're going to make a little bit of fun of you guys, but I mean it in the best possible way. I'm making fun of you like an uncle or big brother. We'll have some fun with you fellas, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that battle and this episode, this Disasters of War episode, one of the series. It's been really fun, right? All kinds of eye-opening challenges. I enjoy the campaign challenges too, right? The guys who send in files and they're like, my campaign is fucked. Help me out here. If you've got either a battle, a series of battles, or a campaign issue, let me know, right? We can't do a week-long campaign for you fellas, but an hour-long episode, no problem, right? Just like some of the ones we've already done. So send in your requests. I've gotten to most of them. I've had to tell a few guys that battle can't be won, or that battle is too redundant. We're not going to do that. But we're getting to the majority of these, and these are quite popular with the fellas on the channel. So with all that said, of course, you want to subscribe if you want to see more from our channel, right? You want to hit notifications. That way you know when new episodes come out. I always ask, please hit that like button on the way out. And I will see you, friends, and Aaron, next time.